As I mentioned in my sermon this morning, one of our biggest diocesan projects this year has been the restoration and the renewal of Thunderhead Episcopal Center. And I can't say enough how grateful I am to Canon Sierra Kacher and to the Reverend Kim Folts, along with a number of gifted partners and volunteers who have poured so much time and so much energy into bringing Tech back to life as a place filled with faith, vitality, and purpose. And so now I'd like to invite Canon Sierra Kacher and the Reverend Kim Folts to please come forward and share this year's Tech report with you.
I'm going to hand this over to Mother Kim to start because I started 6 months ago, and I don't think I knew exactly what I was stepping into when I said yes to this job. But thankfully, Kim said, just worry about the people. Get to know the people this first year. The committee will worry about the property. So Kim is going to tell us about everything that happened this summer.
Good morning. Whoop. There we go. It all started with an idea. Last fall, we spoke to you all and asked what it would look like if we took a year off from having camp to focus on some of the much needed maintenance and improvements at Tech. Could we use money that we'd spent on camp as a starting point and identify projects and raise some additional funds? The Tech committee met, we discussed the pros and cons of such an idea, and the answer was yes. So we stepped out in faith and we started working. We started with the idea of a Tech challenge. We needed to raise a significant amount of money to take care of a lot of maintenance and deferred maintenance issues that had arisen at Tech. And we had a generous anonymous donor who came forward and offered us $50,000, which could be used as a matching grant or a matching challenge. So for every dollar that was donated, they would donate a dollar up to their $50,000 limit. The end result of that Tech challenge was that through the generosity of the people of this diocese, we raised a total of about $125,000. Yeah, it was awesome. And that $125,000 plus an additional $50,000 gift that was given through another donor allowed us to have a solid amount of money to get started on some of the projects that needed to be done at Tech. On your tables, you'll find there's a list of all of the donors who donated to the Tech Challenge. There may not be one on this table because I ran short, and so I apologize. But they're also listed up there. If by any chance we missed somebody, I apologize. We also received donations from parishes as well. And we were so grateful for all the people who invested in what Tech could become. Some of the projects that we identified at camp included replacing the rotten deck on Super Tent, repairing drainage and leakage problems in the basement of Super Tent, restaining the cabins and removing the rotten porches, a new fire pit. We also desperately needed a new dishwasher because the old one ceased functioning. We needed a new grill because the old grill was all rusted out. We also wanted to get some benches and an ice machine and several other projects for the money that we raised. So how did the work get done? Well, we had a lot of professional contractors who came in and did the building of the new deck and also the drainage work around Super Tent. They dug out all of the dirt along the side of Super Tent, resealed all the concrete, filled all the holes and all that kind of stuff, and set drainage that ran away from Super Tent rather than into Super Tent, which allowed us to go downstairs and scrub and remove all of the mold and bacterial growth that had formed on the walls of the basement of Super Tent. So we scraped those all down, we bleached them, we sprayed them, we primed them and repainted them so that the basement of Super Tent no longer sets off everybody's allergies, which is a good thing. However, we also had a lot of wonderful, amazing volunteers. Those are pictures of just a few people doing the work. I particularly want to point out the third picture from the left is Jerry and Nancy Vanderlee, who took on the task of tearing down the completely rotten porch that was on the back of the chapel. It was a monumental task, and they took it on with great joy and destruction. And, and we were able to haul that away. And I wanted to point that out particularly because we don't have an after picture for that yet, because we're still trying to figure out what we want to do with that space. But we have plans in thought process of perhaps putting in a memorial garden tech. And so that's in a yet to come phase. But I did want to point out the work they did because it was a massive undertaking, and that deck was really dangerous. So we're very glad to have it gone. Some of our other volunteers are listed up there. They're also listed on the little framed things on your tables. These are the people who came out over the course of 3 or 4 work weeks and weekends that we had, and did a lot of very not glorious work, a lot of hard work, a lot of scraping, a lot of painting. If I never see another paintbrush for the rest of my life, I will be a happy camper. So we're very grateful for all these folks who came out and helped us with the work that we had to do. Okay. The bishop was there, and the bishop supported his wife, who was gone a good portion of the summer. I also wanted to mention Bonnie Slusher, who came out and did help her husband Kim very much with the fire pit, hauling rock and sweeping, and unfortunately her name didn't make it onto the slide. So here's what you've all been waiting for, the results. You have some of them on your tables. I was going to label the pictures before and after on the things, and I thought if you can't tell the difference, then we've really not done a good job. So on your tables, if you turn the things, you'll see the before and the after pictures in the pictures on the stands, but here's some of them up on the screen. Whoops. Okay, so these are some of the before pictures. The old fire pit up in the left-hand corner was, in my opinion, very unsafe. Not so much from a fire perspective, but from a kid tripping and falling into the middle of it perspective. And the cabins, as you can see in the background and on the picture on the right, the paint was all basically gone, very chewed up. The picture on the bottom is, of course, the deck, which was completely rotted out and in rough shape. So those are the befores. And here's the after. That's our brand new deck. It's got a brand new concrete pad that goes up to it, a safe building compliant railing on it, which is also nice. Our plan for the spring is to order 4 round picnic tables that will sit out on that deck. We decided not to order them ahead of time because why have that sit the winter, all winter. So we'll have 4 round picnic tables out there, which will allow for more space than the big rectangular ones do. So that was a huge jump. We decided to go ahead and repaint the cabins, and we painted them a nice green, evergreen, that matches with brown trim, that matches the trees and the feel of tech. On the front of the cabins, we had new stairs and a new little platform put on to replace the old decks that were rotting away. Those stairs will be painted the brown trim color. We just got them built literally last week. So we're very grateful to Lee Lewis and his friend Gordy, who came out and built those for us just as the end of things came around. These are the insides of the new cabins, or of the insides of the cabins. We had really felt that they needed a paint job. There were people who were concerned, and if there are people here who were concerned about the names that were written in the cabins, they were already painted over. I don't know who did it at what point, but we walked into the cabins trying to figure out how we could preserve sort of the name history, and They'd already been sort of primed over. If you see, some of you have before and after pictures of the cabins on your tables, and you'll be able to see. I think it was done at some point because unfortunately, while there were a lot of lovely, Joe Smith was here in the year, there were also some things written on the walls that were not particularly camp appropriate. And I think at some point somebody decided that it would be impossible to go around and just whitewash the ones that were not appropriate. And so anyway, the insides are now all painted with a lovely sage green that sort of is complementary to the outside. Becky Walker has generously offered and begun work on sewing brand new curtains for all of the cabins. So the curtains that are in here now are the new ones that she's working on. And by next summer, when we start camp up, there will be new cabin curtains in all of the cabins. The picture on the bottom is our new bunk bed. We ordered 12 new bunk beds that are just safety compliant. They have railings at the top and a safe, sturdy ladder to get up into the bunks. The plan is to eventually have 5 cabins that are all completely have these new safe bunk beds in them, but we started with 12 this year, and they're really great because they're very sturdy, but they're also very lightweight, so they're easy to move around if they want to change the layout of the cabin at all. Then Kim Slusher built us the most amazing fire pit ever. I'm so excited about this project. The new fire pit is about up to my hip. It's a nice tall fire pit that the kids can safely cook around without having to lean over or bend down to get access to the fire. They put a 6-foot concrete circle around the fire pit and then a 4-foot circle of stone around that. We purchased 7 benches that you can sort of see in those pictures that go around in the gravel, and then the picnic tables that exist at camp that are still in reasonable shape will be sanded and painted the same green as the cabins, and those will sit around the outside of that. And then we bought a brand new grill. Sierra and I discussed it, and we ended up going with a Blackstone flat top griddle because we decided it would provide more versatility for cooking things, so that you can do burgers and hot dogs and all that stuff on it, but you can also do scrambled eggs and pancakes and lots of different things. So it gives them, if they decide they want to do breakfast outside or do breakfast for dinner or whatever, it gives them more flexibility for what they can cook on it. And grilled cheeses, yes, grilled cheese is the other one. And then Kim Slusher also built us the little brick stand behind it, because my one concern with having the grill out on a permanent pad is that if there was a bad storm and the winds were blowing hard, that it would get blown over and break. So this little pad will protect the grill from getting blown over in a bad windstorm. There we go. Okay, so in addition to those wonderful before and after pictures, we also did get a brand new dishwasher, which is awesome and works really well. We have a new counselor lounge. One of the cabins was used as a counselor lounge, and it was a cabin that was actually in the best physical condition, and so we decided to take it over for campers. And we moved the counselor lounge down to, if you've been to Tech, the old sewing room in the basement of Super Tent, which now is not full of black mold because we fixed the problems. And we painted a blue accent wall. We put a refrigerator down there. They'll have a TV. They'll have access to the Wi-Fi, which they didn't have in the old cabin. And they'll also be right next to the bathroom that the counselors generally use. So we just decided that would be a better space for them to have access to. We did solve the majority of the drainage issues. We still have some leaking from the roof part. When Super Tent was built, the roof did not go all the way out on eaves, so the roof ends at the walls. So when we get a bad rain or we get snow and freeze and melt, it runs down and then runs down the walls of Super Tent. So we are in the process of working on new gutters and snow breaks that will help solve that problem. We took care of the mold issues. We cleaned out the kitchen We bought new pots and pans for the kitchen so that whoever comes up to cook will have brand new Hexclad pans to cook with. And in the spring, we'll be purchasing an ice machine and the picnic tables for the deck that I talked about. Oh, we did, and I'm sorry, it's not up there too. We got a brand new commercial washer and dryer for the laundry room. And in addition to that, we installed extra hookups so that the old washer and dryer that were there can be hooked up. So we now have 2 washers and 2 dryers, which, believe me, if you have a breakout of head lice, is a nice thing to have. So I just want to say thank you. Thunderhead Episcopal Center is a beautiful place. It's a blessing to many, and there are so many good things ahead. The committee will be meeting over the course of the next few months to start planning and hoping and dreaming, and we hope to come up with a 5 and a 10-year plan. The only other piece of property information that I wanted to hand out to you is that we have, after looking at what we needed for camp and the fact that we could sleep 10 campers and 2 counselors per cabin, we decided we only really needed 5 of the 7 cabins, and the other 2 were just collecting chipmunks and junk. And so the 2 cabins that are directly in front of the chapel have been rehomed to Rosebud. We've had some wonderful volunteers who have come up from Rosebud and are slowly taking those apart to reassemble them on Rosebud. We've kept the nameplates, from the cabins, and we're going to have a wall with photos of the cabins and the nameplates so that we'll definitely hold on to that piece of history. But the thing that we like about it is that it opens the camp up to include the chapel, so the chapel doesn't feel like an afterthought stuck in the back. It will make the chapel feel like part of the circle that is camp. So we were really pleased that we had some folks who were willing to take the time and the energy to rehome those and find a purpose for them. So thank you very much. I'm going to hand this over to Sierra.
Thank you, Kim. It also cannot be stated enough that everything that happened this summer would not have happened without Kim Folts, and she doesn't want me to say this, so don't even look at her, but we owe her a huge amount of gratitude for everything that happened this summer, so thank you, Kim. She hates it, so we should sit back down. I promised her I wouldn't do that.
I've got to go home with her. Thanks, Sierra.
Yeah. So this is me last week after we were wrapping up our summer of renewal and refreshment. This was just before I got in my car to drive back to Rapid City, and being so grateful for everything that I saw transform at Thunderhead this summer. My name is Sierra Kacher. I am from southwestern Illinois near St. Louis, so I have Midwestern roots. I have been doing Episcopal summer camp ministry for over a decade, all over the country, and I am so honored to be a part of the legacy of Thunderhead Episcopal Center and help usher us into this whatever God is calling us to next. So that's me. That's my usual level of enthusiasm. So that's next slide, please. My job title, I think, is the longest of diocesan staff. My full title is Canon for Thunderhead Episcopal Center and Diocesan Youth Ministries. That basically means I am our camp director, I am a youth minister, I help support congregations, I follow the bishop around both literally and metaphorically with whatever he charges us with, and my favorite title is silliness supervisor. So that I get to do all of those things with our young people, with their energy and all of their hopes and dreams and fears and all those things that they bring to camp, and then we get to spend 6 days together out in the beautiful Black Hills, the sacred Black Hills, and sing songs and explore the woods and do crafts together and learn about where Jesus is in our lives and all the things that he might be inviting us to do. Also, for I think the first time, your camp director is full-time and year-round. Yeah. So part of my role is helping to support what you already have going on in your parishes and your congregations. If you have a youth group already, I want to meet with them. If you don't, let's talk about how you might start one. What will it look like to revive diocesan youth programs? We'll figure it out. Part of my role, I got to meet many of you this summer, traveling all around the state. I'm still new to South Dakota, so that's a general representation of where, where we were with the Tech Savvy Tour. But I got to meet so many of you and hear your stories. I love to know and to hear about your memories of Thunderhead or something that surprised you about our 159 acres. We have a table in the exhibition hall, and so if I don't answer one of your questions this morning, I will be there and let's keep talking about it. But it was wonderful to meet some of you. I'll be doing 2.0 of Tech Savvy Tour in the spring to help everyone get registered for camp. So that will be coming forward. And speaking of camp, we're back! On your tables, you have save the dates for our sessions next summer. We have sessions for campers of all ages. If you exist, you are part of God's family, and so you can come to family camp. And if you are a rising 3rd through 12th grader, we have an overnight youth program camp for you as well. Registration will open in early 2026, but I am already excited to talk to anyone who's interested in being a cabin counselor or a food service director or coming up to just be a familial presence. I'm looking for camp grandmas or grandpas or aunties or uncles as well, to just be there and be an extra bonus safe adult. Multiple studies have shown that the #1 safety protector for young people is having at least one safe adult in their life. And that is my role, but also all of our roles for the young people that we worship with and serve. So camp is back in 2026. Save the dates, please. I'm also your canon for youth ministries. So that means lots of things. One of my main goals is connecting with our youth leaders. I want to have conversations to hear what's happening in your parishes, what's going well, what you might have questions about, and also help connect folks across the state. Maybe we'll do a Zoom. Zoom is great. Maybe we'll do quarterly Zooms or lunch and learns or what have you. Reviving diocesan youth programs. Just last week, 2 weeks ago, what is time? I learned about a former diocesan commission or youth commission that was youth-led and supported that happened here in the diocese. And what a testament to formation that can be in leadership. I personally was formed in my diocese, and the adults there that believed in my leadership are part of the reason why I'm still part of the church today. In my role, I also have time to help curate resources, to test things out or look into it. I'll help congregations partner together and perhaps purchase a curriculum that's owned by the diocese and shared by multiple parishes or congregations. And also my main role is to advocate, to cheer for, and to pray for our young people and the adults who help serve them. That is a picture of me at my very first youth retreat 20 years ago, and I'm the one in red, and the adult leader is holding onto my arm so I don't fall off the roof, which is now my job, so. And some of the hopes and dreams, like I've talked about, for both Thunderhead and for diocesan youth ministries, we want to have thriving year-round programs. so that our kids who come to camp aren't just carted off into the woods for the week and then told, see you next year, good luck. We want to help make that luck, make those connections that last throughout the year, and that our campers, if they start coming to camp before 3rd grade, are staying through high school and becoming counselors and staff and maybe diocesan staff in the future themselves. So that would be wonderful. And with that, having empowered young leaders, I want our programs to be youth-led. So if you are under the age of 18 and hearing my voice, please come talk to me. And if you know folks who are young people in our diocese, identify them to me. I'm still very new and learning lots of names, so the more introductions that you can help me with, I appreciate it. And helping to strengthen relationships. What might our diocese look like if we continue to truly invest and pray for and spend time with our young people now? What will our church look like 15, 20 years from now? Another 50 years from now can be amazingly transformative. This is about all I have, except what kind of canon for tech and youth would I be if I didn't make us do something very silly and camp-like? So, I need both hands for this. This is a repeat after me song. Very good, and what that means is I'm going to invite you to stand as you're comfortable, and I will say a line and you will repeat it back. All right? This is a repeat after me song. So do what I do and say what I say. I get loose. I get funky. Get your body moving. It started with your feet. Ah, your feet. I get loose. I get funky. Get your body moving. It started with your feet. Ah, your feet. Your legs. I get loose. I get funky. Get your body moving. It started with your feet. Ah, your feet. Your legs. Your hips. I get loose. I get funky. Get your body moving. It started with your feet. Ah, your feet. Your legs. Your hips. Your arms. I get loose. I get funky. Get your body moving. It started with your feet. Ah, your feet. Your legs. Your hips. Your arms. Your head. Your tongue. I get loose. Y'all look so silly. Good job. And the last thing I need from you, can I have a quick shout out if you saw someone be incredibly, full-heartedly enthusiastic and participatory in that? I need, for real though, because I've got prizes. Okay. These, your prizes. In our sewing room that we have now turned into a counselor lounge, we found some patterns for things. So Holly Mosley, a former tech director, sewed these. I've got a bunny and a cute little puppy dog and an apron. So I'm going to go deliver these to our enthusiastic participants. Okay. Jamie German. Great. Okay, and Elaine, and one more, somebody who was very, and Darwin. Okay, all right, thank you. That's my contact information. Thank you all for your support, and there are wonderful things coming.